So, LG phones, rest in peace. Let's talk about it. So, LG phones, they're a thing of the past. What does that mean? Why did this happen? Well, let me ask you a question. What phone is in your pocket right now? Or potentially in your hand watching this video? Is it an LG phone? I didn't think so. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. No, there's way more to it than that. So you probably don't see many LG phones in the market today out in the wild, but there was a time where LG dominated the cell phone market. Do you guys remember the LG Chocolate, the Voyager, the Envy? These were all incredibly popular phones. So what happened?
So, did you have an LG Chocolate?
No, I never had one.
Well, I guess you were just a loser.
Thanks. Anyways, LG actually pioneered some of the tech that we take for granted in phones to this day. Passive touchscreens, dual cameras. Yeah, Apple and Samsung did not start that trend. So, what happened? Well, a few things. So, once the other companies caught up to LG had to kind of rethink their strategy and come up with their new thing. So, what was LG's new thing? Well, it was kind of everything. LG would do this thing where they would pick up a new feature, a new gimmick, some new tech, but then they would just retire it as soon as they launched it, like the next year. Do you guys remember the modular phone? Where you could literally take the bottom of the phone off or the top and put in a battery pack attachment or put in a camera attachment or put in whatever. There are so many things you could do with it. Well, they retired that before third-party companies could even catch on and make things that were actually useful. Do you guys remember hand gestures? You could literally hold a phone up and use a hand gesture like this, and then that would start a timer that would then take a selfie. Cool tech. But the problem is they never invested enough into it, or they would just retire it before anyone could catch on or before they could perfect it. So LG is kind of like that toxic ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend that you have that promises that they're gonna change, and they bring up all these new things and they start acting really good, and then it's just completely gone the next day. Well, LG would kind of do that with their phones. They would put in this awesome tech into their phones, and then the next year, it's gone, like it never happened. And you're just like, what? LG, what happened? I thought you were gonna change. And LG says, I'm so sorry. Let me change, let me do, and you're, no, I'm sorry. No, it's too late. I'm going with an iPhone. Yes, an iPhone.
Sounds like you know a thing or two about toxic exes.
Yeah. Alina, can we not? Please, can we not?
Fine.
LG's marketing has been terrible. So, I used to work for Sprint. And, rest in peace, Sprint. Sprint is, probably hanging out with those LG phones now.
Your jokes are bad. And you should feel bad.
Anyways, we had specialists who would walk into a store and do the worst job at being a specialist. So the LG had specialists that they would send into retail stores to teach the sales reps about their product. And then they would deem one sales rep in that store as an LG specialist. I was certified as an LG specialist. Do you want to know what the certification process was? They walked in. They said, hey, who's the sales lead here? I'm like, oh, that's me. He walked up. He goes, hey, let me show you something. You could do this with your hand, and it takes a picture. It's got a curved screen, and boom. All right, I'm gonna mark you down as a specialist for LG. And I'm like, I really don't know much about the phone. And he's like, that's okay, you know enough to sell it. Just sell it. Every time you sell a LG phone, I'll give you a $5 gift card to Subway. That was a real thing that he told me. So if you start to pay attention to what I'm saying, you'll start to pick up that LG really just mismanaged their cell phone division. They would always just botch the marketing. When's the last time you've seen an LG commercial? You see billboards and commercials for iPhones all the time. It's not that LG doesn't have the money. They have the money. They just don't do it. They have these specialists who go into retail stores to try and push their products. And that is not incentive for any sales rep to sell their phones at all. Like, you make way more off commission and you get way happier customers when you just sell them a bunch of iPhones or a bunch of Samsungs than anything. See, when you work at a retail store, you always have to worry about the customer coming back and returning their phone because it's garbage. That is actually one reason why I would really never sell LG phones, because they always weren't quite there. I knew that if a customer left with a Samsung or an iPhone, they would leave happy with their device and they would not come back. That is one reason why I never sold LG phones. Another thing is LG could never really justify the price of their phones when a customer could just spend a little bit more and get a Samsung or an iPhone. And I know this, I have actually owned a few LG phones myself, and some of the newer ones actually look kind of promising. The LG Wing looks awesome. It has a flip screen. That's awesome. So much screen retail space, but it can still be in a small form factor. I love that. And I'm not saying their phones were all bad. They just weren't great. But if they put a little bit of time and money into their phones and into this baby that they had, they could have actually came up with some really cool, really nice, really affordable phones that would actually give iPhone and Samsung a run for their money. But instead, what they did is they just kind of casted that aside, like the forgotten child, who's like the least liked. They did not get enough attention. They didn't get the love and the attention they deserved.
Sounds like you have.
Shut up! Anyways, LG, they'll be fine. LG actually has a massive amount of great products that they sell. And if you think about it, those products are probably gonna start getting better because they have more resources to throw at them now. So I actually can't wait to see what LG does. They're actually in the works to do some pretty cool things right now. And I think shutting down this department that they really didn't care much about will actually help them in the long run. So I can't wait to see what happens. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. It's just an interesting thing about LG. I have a connection to cell phones, being in the cell phone industry for a while. And this is just my opinion, but as a sales rep in these retail stores and a sales lead, and eventually, growing up into district sales management, I kind of had a good look at the market and the industry. And I can tell you, LG was never on top, but they had so much potential that they just blew. And I'm hoping that they take that effort and they just put it somewhere where they can actually make a product that'll flourish. Maybe some new screens, some high def like monitors for editing. They make some amazing screens. I guess we'll see. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you in the next video.